on your mind?
Money. The cost of living.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah. Especially being a waitress. I only make $2.50 an hour. And I live off my tips. I need people to come in here and tip. It's kind of hard. Even though you give them really good service, they don't understand that you're only making $2.50 an hour.
$2.15. That's not exactly much.
No?
Is it?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, isn't, I was just having a discussion with somebody about this a while ago. Minimum wage is supposed to be 6.5 now, right?
Yeah.
So, $2.15. How long have you been doing this?
For about 15 years. And it hasn't changed.
After all that tenure?
Yeah.
There's got to be something good about this job to make
Oh, I
you
love
stick
my
around.
job. Love it. Love the people that come in here. I love working because you get the people that you wait on them, you give them great service, and they leave $1 tip. Yeah, they just expect it. It's annoying after a while.
Give the greetings. And please state your first name for the camera,
There you go.
please.
Good day, my lord. I am Sir Blackwolf at your service.
All right, F. And what's on your mind these times?
Of course. Well, of course, in the Middle Ages, the thing of that time was laws and code of chivalry. And my concern in the modern times is, even though chivalry is still alive and it's still a very important part of many people's lives, it needs to be impressed upon our young people and also encouraged more in their everyday lives.
Well, but, it's a bit of a diversion from, the status quo. I mean, how would somebody, be open to, it's not just an issue of being open to adapting. Like, how would somebody, just go about doing a complete, even a tiny lifestyle change to adapt to that?
It may not be all that much of a lifestyle change for everyone. Doing what's right and what's wrong is innate in every child that's born. And it also has to do with their upbringing, how they're raised, how their parents teach them to behave.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
All right, help yourself.
Thank you. What's your name?
Jim.
Sorry, please do.
Good to see you, young man.
What's on your mind?
I hate to say it, but taxes.
Oh, boy. All right, what about them?
Well, I have over 30 years of work experience for the state of Virginia. And right now, the state of Virginia wants to raise gasoline taxes to pay for road and transportation improvements. They don't need to raise them. They already have the money. Democratic Party in the state legislature has a bill before the General Assembly to put in $1.1 billion in road funds. The Republicans have a bill into the legislature to raise $1.1 billion in transportation and road funds. If they would have cut spending by 3%, only 3%, that would free up $1.14 billion in state money, right there with no increase in taxes. You cannot tell me that the state cannot cut funding by 3%.
Human nature in general is good. And to do things that are not good tends to be an encouraged behavior. To that end, we would encourage the Code of Chivalry, for instance, being used as a guideline. Because it is compatible with many people's cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, and political beliefs even so. But they must be guided in that direction for them to know and act in accordance to
The code.
the code of honor.
The code of honor.
Yes, which includes, among other things, prowess, doing the best that you can, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Justice, doing what is right, even though it's not necessarily the easy thing to do.
Doing what is right, not just what is easy. You stole that from Harry Potter, didn't you?
So some say, though I was not aware of that. No, not at all. It is part of the chivalrical codes that have been around for centuries, since the 1100s.
Chivalrical code?
Yes, indeed.
Play that in Scrabble. Chivalrical.
Chivalric.
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 You're not helping.
Here's how they can do it. At the end of every fiscal budgeting period, there's a mass spending that goes on. State agencies, and not just the state, federal, city, everyone works on a fiscal budget side. They find out towards the end of the year they got money left over. It happens every year. Every year. So they go into massive spending of equipment, travel, and various things to eat money up. Because if they don't spend all of their appropriation, the government might say the next year, well, you don't need all of your appropriation. So the system encourages waste and unnecessary spending. If they would simply cut out that at the end of the year through some mechanism, some kind of freeze date, or better yet, putting in a incentive for state agencies to return monies they didn't spend. It would free up all we need for roads, no taxing the people another time.
It's hard, it's long. I mean, I'm working right now and there's no one in my restaurant. Between certain hours, there's no one here.
Yeah.
So I just sit here and make $2 an hour. Excuse me, $2.50 an hour.
Yeah. Every penny counts.
Yeah. Especially these days. Especially with gas money. It takes me $10 to get here and $10 to get home. I'm lucky to make that every day. And I have my great days. Really, really good days. I have days like this.
Well, at least you know it's the calm before the storm, right? Before the dinner rush sets in, right? Do you have
I get
dinner
off. No, I get, yeah, sometimes. But I get off before dinner. I do lunch.
rush? No. Cool. For $2.15 an hour,
Yeah.
plus the occasional tip.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Party hard.
I know.
Well, how long have you been doing this nighting?
Truly, I started at the age of 7. I'm of Welsh ancestry, and learning the art of the longbow at the age of 7. Then on up to the age of 15, where I began learning about swordsmanship and horsemanship and writing and reading and mathematics and language and everything else that is associated with the knightly teaching.
Jousting.
Of course.
What's the deal with jousting anyway? I mean, you've seen A Knight's Tale, right? It's just like there's that big pole, right? And then you got the two people on horses, with the big sticks. And, if they're colliding
It's called
towards
a
each
lance,
other. Sorry.
No, I understand what you're saying. The tilt yard, where you have the divide between the horses, and the horses come between. It's a tournament. A tournament, it was an opportunity, just like tournaments are today, to show your prowess, your skill, and your courage upon the field of honor. So therefore,
Look
you
out.
would not only fight on horseback with blunted lances, but you would fight in the sword pit with swords. You would wrestle and grapple. There was archery to be done at some tournaments. Quarterstaff or poleaxe was even done at some tournaments. So it was an opportunity to show your skills and show your expertise in the skills of being of a knighthood.
Based on shoving a lancer down each other's throats.
No, of course not. You'd have your visor down, of course.
Well, that's completely different. How patient can the people be?
Patient as you need to be. But you gotta contact your congressman, your senator, your state legislators. You gotta let them know where you stand. It's a process.
And knowing is half the battle. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thanks, son.